So this pick a card deals with your next intimate connection, and it's from the divine perspective. We're going to discuss the two parties as well as any kind of healing and what will transpire between you. So for the pile number one, we have this brooch with a woman and this card, seated angel flying. Pile number two, we have this, what is it, like spirit quartz? I don't think it's real. Ring with a card, Kundalini rising. And for pile number three, we have a angel brooch, gold angel brooch with infinite potential. So you can pause the video to make your selection, and I'll be starting the readings now. So this is your reading if you chose the woman brooch with seated angel flying. This is card number 14. I'm just going to look up what it is. I know that 13 is the death card. Temperance. Okay. So something about healing and forgiveness is part of this journey. And stepping into like a more feminine energy, but it actually is a combination of masculine and feminine. So it's being able to integrate within ourselves the feminine and the masculine before you're able to connect with another person. So there's a lot of like inner work you're doing here. The key to getting what I want is to ask for it. So taking on like a more assertive, not necessarily dominant, but more assertive role. And the chakra that you're healing in this connection is your heart chakra. And that actually makes sense to me with both these cards because it feels like you're getting centered on what it is that you really desire, what it is that you really want. And healing your heart is what is able to let you open up that way. Healing your masculine and feminine and getting them to work together is making you more assertive in your intimate connection. So this is, first one is your energy. Second one is the other person's energy. This is healing that could happen between you. Really interesting. And this is what's actually going to transpire. So the masculine, whoever the masculine is stepping forward and becoming more dominant. And this is somehow by the feminine opening the heart. Your energy, whoever it is that's watching this reading, is very committed, very loyal, very dedicated. And the other person's energy has come through a lot of difficulty. This connection might be one of those difficulties, but they've finally reached an understanding. It's like they've finally gotten some kind of relief from a mental hardship that they were going through and have come to a place of peace. What's healing between you is the heart chakra. So there's like an emphasis on the heart chakra. And it's because there's more transparency and more fluidity in the connection. There's a connection to your feelings, to your emotions, to how you're really experiencing things and actually asking for what you want and going for what you want. And taking the time to heal yourself has enabled you to open your heart. For a lot of you, this feels like a connection that's already started in the past or someone you're returning to. This feels like it has history is what I'm saying, but it's coming in a revived way. So this might be a restart, and this person's very passionate about you. So, or you're very passionate about them. Whoever's identifying as masculine is coming up like really hot, really passionate, really eager to get this connection going, but it is coming through the heart space. And there's a lot of mental understanding and clarity, which brings in a sense of peace to the connection, and a lack of defensiveness when someone's asking for what they want. It's like maybe in the past there was defensiveness. Maybe in the past it led to some kind of fighting or disagreement or misunderstanding between you, that two people who are very strong in their body, in their essence, kind of trying to come together and had a clash of wills, but it feels like the other person has softened, seeing your way more. This is also an earthy sign. This is Taurus, the high priest. So being that it's earthy, and Taurus especially, that's connected with Venus, and it's all about pleasure. And asking for what you want is like focusing on what gives you pleasure. And focusing on the senses, like turning it more towards a body positive, body conscious engagement, rather than something where you're stuck in your head or trying to fulfill the other person instead of focusing on yourself. And it feels like that's what's changing both of your energies towards more passion and more of a lively, passionate, excited, enthusiastic energy, more fiery, basically. So that was your reading. Keeping it short and sweet this time around. And I'm moving on to pile number 2, if you want to stick around for that. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Pile 2, you guys chose what I refer to as spirit quartz, though I think this is just plastic. I don't think that's anything at all. You got this ring, and you got Kundalini rising, which I'm gonna have to do like I did in the last reading. I'm gonna have to check what this card is. I keep forgetting the numbers. Oh, that's the Tower. Okay. Interesting. I'll tell you why that's interesting. There's always a solution of the highest good. I allow people to witness their behavior so I can help them move beyond it. Interesting. The chakra that's healing here is the 6th, third eye chakra. Wow. This is a very spiritual love. You're reaching enlightenment through this connection, through this like intimate experience. So this is going to be your energy, the other person's energy. Any kind of healing that could happen between you. And what's actually transpiring. Okay. So this is most likely someone from your past, or someone that you have like this strong attachment to emotionally, that feels like you're connected somehow in the past, or there's just a strong memory of things that happened between you already. Take it as you will. Maybe they remind you of someone. There's somehow a past connection connected here. With Kundalini rising, it feels like you're transforming through this intimate connection. You're able to like reach deep within yourself and transform through your primal energy beyond it. The issue, and I'm going to call it an issue, though you're both coming up as 7s, so you're both coming up in a similar energy. Let's just pull out for a minute here. What is 7 numerology-wise? We can get some words connected with that. Mysterious, spiritual, associated with creativity and intuition. But it's also an unfortunate number. It's indicating moodiness, anxiety issues, right? Can be great healers, teachers, and spiritual gurus. Advised to wear brown or green. So brown, green to me is like the heart chakra. But then we also have sacral. So the way you're connecting is through the heart space. Delay is making me think of delayed gratification. So it feels like this isn't something, like maybe it's a buildup, maybe it takes a while. Because Kundalini rising is the Tower card, I was gonna say that that's like a climax, I guess, for this reading. And then the other person's coming up as Seven of Wands. So there's, well, they're wanting to fight for the connection, but they're also defensive in some ways. And it feels like they might have barriers up. It feels like they might not be so soft towards you or towards the connection. Interestingly enough, the way you heal and what's happening between you is also a similar number. It's the 6. Let me see if I can pull. I know 6 has to do, I think, with like groups of people and family. The 6 is the mother of all numbers since it links families and keeps people together. Because numerology, number 6 is trustworthy, sympathetic, gentle, and loving. They should work in teaching, nursing. So it feels like your bond strengthens through this experience, becomes more loving and more mothering, like more nurturing. Through a focus on each other's well-being, that's how you heal the connection. You're both wanting the other person to feel safe and comfortable and that their needs are met. What actually transpires between you is this nostalgia. It's like you're reminiscing a lot about the past. I don't know if this is an actual physical connection. Like it almost feels like it's more in your heart and in your head. It might be that both of you are there, but one person, the other person, is more defensive about the connection, and you're waiting. You're waiting around. You've put in the energy, you've put in the time, you've put in the effort, you're waiting for something to happen. A lot of times we'll watch these readings even though we don't have an actual connection, like a physical connection, because we're wanting it to be. But it feels like in this particular circumstance, it's kind of like more so that you're wanting it. But I'm gonna try to pull out more information, which I didn't do for the other pile, just on that 6 of Cups, because I want to understand what the nature of the connection is. So it's something that you're holding on to, I'm guessing from the past, and this person, for whatever reason, feels almost like a father figure to you. Like they take on like a parental role with you, the way that they treat you. I'm not saying literal father figure, that would be weird. But yeah, like they're very parental. And so maybe you're looking for guidance from them, or you're looking for some kind of strength. But with that strength and that guidance, they're also quite defensive. They're not really letting you in. They have their walls up. So what I'm seeing between you, whether this manifests or not into something physical, is that there's healing. There's a connection of the masculine and feminine with temperance. And there's an ability to heal that way, which is quite important, quite deep. It's also head and heart. So you're not just approaching the connection from like a body, right? You're not just approaching it from lust, which is good. You're approaching it from a mental understanding, but also from an emotional one. But I think if there's any kind of attachment to the idea of this person being a parental figure, that's something you're going to have to work through so that you can come from a more balanced place and come from a place of seeing eye to eye. What I really wanted to say is that you're somehow letting this person witness their behavior. You're coming at this connection from a very spiritual place, from a very detached space. It's almost like you're wanting to heal them. That could be an issue, but I do feel that you're kind of picking your hands up and just saying, okay, whatever happens, happens. And part of you doing that is what helps this person witness their behavior towards you, and relying on your third eye to know how to connect. Like you might be connecting with them through ESP or like kind of in a psychic way. I would warn against that. Interesting, we have 6 here, because we had 2 6s here, and then we have 6. But we also have 1, so 1 plus 6 is 7, and then we had these 2 7s here. And then we have the 4 of coins with the 4 that's the Emperor, but then we also have the 4 from Temperance, and 4 plus 1 is 5. And so there is this kind of, and then we have the 6 here, which is the third eye chakra, is the 6th chakra. So there is this progression from the work you've done to heal yourself, initially there was a deep attachment to this person, almost like they were guiding you like a parent. And you did a lot of work to heal yourself, to connect your masculine and feminine, because you may have been overly relying on this person because of a disconnect from the masculine, from your own masculinity. And then as you heal yourself, you're able to connect with this person in an equal give and take, which allows both of you to feel seen. And then there's this eruption, which is kind of like, oh, I'm not going to say the word, but it's like, oh. It's a climax. And that is what leads to this balanced interaction where there's more of a building with the Seven of Coins. It's like it takes time to get there, but you're building towards something that has some kind of future. And that's for you who actually are connecting with this person. But if it's more of a memory, because we had the Six of Cups there, then it feels like you're needing to heal and work on yourself and connect with your own masculinity and heal your masculine and feminine, how they work together so that you can detach from the situation and realize that there's always a solution of the highest good. So maybe part of your detachment is about the other person healing as well and giving them the space to do that. So this was a lot about healing, and more so than anything else. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was relevant to anyone. So pile number 3, this is your pile if you chose the angel brooch, this gold angel with infinite potential. I will say I don't actually know what this card stands for, because most of the cards are of the major arcana of the tarot, but this is card number 24, which does not exist in the major arcana. So it's a whole different interpretation of the card, which I don't know. But I will read it based on what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling from the words. Okay. So you have throat chakra. There's kind of a feeling of perfectionism here. And maybe in the past a lack of self-respect in some way. There's a feeling of needing to be perfect or needing to please others or needing to gain their acceptance. So we're gonna see your energy. Okay, wow. The other person's energy. What's healing between you and what's happening. What's possible between you, what's gonna happen. It's a cool reading, actually, but there are negatives here, and I'll talk about them. The first thing I'm seeing is a potential for pregnancy, because the infinite potential, there's like a baby here. So you may already be pregnant, or there may have been a pregnancy in the past, or this is something that's coming up for you with this person. We're seeing the throat chakra, so this might be like a very vocal experience, like there might be a lot of your voice might be important for it. The dolphin as well, so it feels very playful. And it feels free. It feels experimental. It feels free. You may also be attracted to each other through singing or through some kind of art form. But I am seeing like almost this feeling of codependency and a feeling on your end, whoever it is that's watching this reading, that you're too much of a people pleaser and really, really attached to this connection, like feeling almost obsessive over this person, maybe replaying things in your mind, feeling almost like a level of addiction with the devil, and struggling to detach. And it feels like the other person is detached because they're focused on being healthy. I know you're going to hate hearing this, but they're focused on being healthy and on being grounded and stable and balanced. And it may be that you're not feeling so balanced right now, so you're struggling with that. So if they're detaching, if they're not as readily available, it's because they're seeing that as a healthier response. And it may even be that your neediness in the situation is what's pulling them away. So you're needing to balance yourself out. And that's really what the healing message is here with the Two of Coins. It's like learning to balance your needs on your own and learning to balance your needs in response to this person as well. The future of this connection looks really bright. It feels like, again, very playful, experimental, fun, exciting. You're both shining, so you're both like in a dominant role. It doesn't really feel like dom and sub. It feels like you're both able to be dominant, but maybe you can switch between, because the Two of Coins might be that you're switching between. It's also very passionate, but also very loving at the same time. And it feels like if there's someone here who's more passionate than the other, that's you. And the other person is more of like a Libra energy. Your energy is coming up as Capricorn, like you're putting in a lot of hard work for the connection. The Libra energy wants to keep everything balanced. So they will give as much as they're able to when they're comfortable. They're more cerebral, so they're affected more mentally by things, like the image of something might play in their mind. But for you, it's like you're more physical. You're like into the touch and the scent and the atmosphere and the taste of something. So you're really drawing into your senses. When I allow others to support me, I support them too. So it feels like you're needing to maybe back off a bit of the connection and just let yourself be supported by the other person. Let them come towards you. If you've ever watched cats, like the way that cats behave, they're kind of like in their own territory and they need you to come towards them and draw them out of their shell in a way. I was also seeing it connected to when I respect my money respects me. It feels like you're needing to have more self-respect. I know we're talking about money here, but to me, this isn't money. This is just self-respect. It might be a connection that's connected somehow with money, but either way, that's how I'm reading it. I release my need to be perfect. So again, it's that perfectionist side where you're wanting to please the other person and have yourself validated, your self-worth. I center into my commitment to serve the world more love. So instead of trying to be perfect, try to be more loving. Try to see how this person needs to be loved. And a lot of times, if this is a Libra or if they are kind of detached, this person needs space. Part of their need for love is space, and balance, and respecting their freedom, respecting their distance when they need distance. When in doubt, I play it out. So it might be, again, that playful feeling, that experimental feeling of like trying new things out. Or maybe if you're stepping into a space where you're feeling kind of addicted, feeling kind of codependent, your mind might be playing out a lot of scenarios in your mind. And instead of being drained by this anxiety and doubt, it's like, why don't you try things out with this person? Why don't you try expressing how you feel? Why don't you try a different approach? If you're constantly kind of a clinging vine, why don't you try being a little bit more free, and not from a place of playing mind games, but really from a place of, well, maybe this person just needs some space. And I'll try to give that to them more often. Maybe they're struggling to communicate what they need. And since the throat chakra is so important here, it's like, yeah, you need to verbalize, especially in an intimate connection. You need to verbalize how you're feeling and what you're needing. And if you can't do it during the act, then like later, if you can sit the person down and just be like, this is what that made me feel like, or this is what I didn't like, and this is what I did. Being diplomatic and thoughtful and kind as you do that, but focus on play, focus on fun. That's going to bring a lot of healing to the situation. It feels like whoever's watching this needs a lot of support and a lot of healing, and not necessarily ask for it from this person. Like, you may need to resource your support and healing from other places so that when you are connecting with this person, it's not about them being your therapist or being your healer. They're just there to enjoy your company and for it to be playful and fun. And yes, you can definitely speak up. You should definitely speak up. Notice the infinite potential between you, that it's not just like something may have sparked and it feels like it's ignited something very intense, but instead of getting triggered by it, see all the potential of what it could be rather than, oh no, this will definitely get destroyed unless I micromanage it and do everything I can to keep it. Try to let go, try to release the reins, try to be more focused in other areas of your life. And if you're struggling to, then try to get some kind of help, either through therapy or someone you can talk to that can help you balance out your emotions when it comes to this connection, if this does relate to how you've been feeling. I'm going to pull out one healing card, which I didn't do for the other groups. I got 2 healing cards. Patiently waiting in absolute stillness, safely held in the love of the divine, allow the key to come forward in its own time. Is there a sense of wanting to be somewhere else? Let that go and look and see all that is around you. This is the time to gather yourself for the journey ahead as yet unrevealed. Awareness. By increasing your awareness of how this connection's been for you, and just finding more safety and stillness, connecting with the love of the divine, the love of God, you will kind of be able to let go of your stronghold over this connection, or the stronghold that you feel this connection has over you. I am here, I see you, do not falter, be strong. Keep going, I am with you. I am of the earth, I am of the woods, the path is clear. There might be a hill to climb, but I am the stag of the dark forest, and I give you my strength. Movement. I feel like you may be feeling that this person was giving you strength, and they were kind of there for you, and that they've been holding you through a tough time, but it's kind of encouraging you to place that strength in a different way, like maybe in a more spiritual way, where you're not seeing them as the source of your strength, but you're seeing spirit as the source of your strength, and that spirit or God has just sent this person as a loving, kind gesture to help ease the transition that you're going through, because you're going through a transition and you may really want to hold on tight, but you just need to let go. And if this connection isn't meant for you, you have to just release it, right? If it's making you feel unwell, if it's making you feel triggered, if you're really struggling to keep this connection going and it's become more of a toxic addiction, then you need to sit yourself down, think about what this connection is to you, maybe talk to the person, maybe talk to another person who isn't connected with this at all, and get some perspective and clarity so that you know how to approach the situation, not from a triggered place, not from an anxious place, not from a lacking mindset where you have to hold on to things or control them, but from a space where you allow things to come and go, you allow more freedom of movement and expression, but you also have your boundaries, you also have self-respect, and you focus more on love rather than on being perfect. You let other people support you rather than constantly trying to support them or mother them. And you play things out, you ask questions, you get into an engagement, into a conversation, and if that doesn't work, then this clearly isn't a situation that you can continue with if you're not able to talk. So I hope that helped for someone. Thanks for watching. This was the Spiritual Gardener on YouTube.